Good afternoon, everyone. Father Jared coming to you on this August 12th, which is also the feast day of St. Jane Frances de Chantal. So a lot of words there in her name. But anyways, today, she was a very good friend and close collaborator of St. Francis de Sales, a great saint of the Reformation. And I shared a little bit about him in my homily a few weeks ago. And, there was this deep friendship that developed between them. At first, it just started out as, that she came to him for spiritual direction, and eventually they would found together an order of sisters, actually, that would eventually teach and become very, very prominent within France. And I think she opened over 80 convents by the time she passed away. And she just, so there was this very, very amazing and fruitful relationship and friendship between them. And it made me reflect on just the nature of friendship in general and the importance of friendship in our own lives, both in the here and now. For one, friendship is so fundamental to who we are as human beings, that to have relationships, to have those people you can rely upon in difficult times, but also, like a really good friend should be somebody who rejoices with you in times of great joy. It should be somebody who is there really happy for you. And it sounds like, well, people are usually happy and good news. And that's not always necessarily true. Sometimes, people are, can be frustrated within themselves that things are going well for somebody else, and it may not be going well for them. But a true friend, even if they're going through something difficult themselves, if you have good news, they will rejoice with you. And just as, in hearing their bad news, that hopefully you'll be with them and be able to listen to them and help them through that difficult time. And so I think that's an important aspect of friendship right there, is just the ability to both, as St. Paul tells us, that we should rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. And friendship is the ability to identify with whatever the other is going through and to support each other in good times and in those difficult times of suffering. But then also friendship, sometimes it's just like, oh, we hang out and that's about it. But really, friendship should be almost, should be a person that they get a little further down that road of holiness. They get a little better, and then it makes you want to step up your game a little bit, and then you want to get better and better. And so there's kind of this holy competitiveness about it. It doesn't turn into backbiting or trying to trash each other or anything like that, but instead it turns into, I'm going to do better, and then that's going to push you to do better, and then whenever you get better, then I'm going to get better. And so there's kind of this pushing of each other. So a true friend wants you to be great and wants to be great themselves. So there's both and working towards that goal. That's actually what Aristotle said even before Christ, that true friendship is oriented towards a higher good, and both are striving for that higher good. And in this case, it should be for sainthood, which is why, behind me also other friends that we should always have, and I have many, many of them among the saints. And one of my favorites, obviously right behind me, that picture of St. Jose Maria Escriva, which is here in my sitting room in the rectory, and just an extremely important saint in my own life, and been a great, great friend, and has walked with me through many difficult things. And through reading about his life and his own writings, I have come to be able to make greater sense of my own life, my priesthood. And so I think friendship with the saints is always important, especially, of course, the Blessed Virgin Mary, as I pray a rosary every day, and just as that moment to encounter her, to walk with her, and to allow her motherhood to really support me in my priesthood is something that's so fundamental. And so developing that friendship with the saints that you feel an attraction to, I think that it's such a fundamental thing to being Catholic. Of course, we have then the most fundamental friendship, which I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, but hopefully you've watched all the way through at this point, but friendship with Christ, which is that fundamental, that core friendship of who we are, truly can turn to in every need, that perfect friend who's always there and who will always mourn with us when we're mourning, rejoice with us when we're rejoicing, and then also just that man who has indeed left us an example, to something to strive for, left us truly an example of love, of charity, of boldness, of courage, every other virtue you can think of. Left us as the greatest example of that and something to imitate, but then also he gives us the strength necessary to do it with his own life, and a body and blood that he gives to us in Holy Communion and the Holy Eucharist. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you to turn to that great strength that we have in our Lord, in both the Eucharist, but also just in developing your own friendship with him through reading the scriptures and the Gospels, and just coming to know him better as a friend, because indeed he is an extremely good friend, and is indeed God himself, and he wants to be friends with you, and that's so very, very important to encounter in our own lives. So there's my little reflection on friendship, and I hope that each and every one of us will continue to strive to find those friends who will truly push us towards sainthood, because if we do that, then indeed each and every one of us can come closer day by day, and we'll make that the greatest aims of our lives and be the reason why we get out of bed in the morning. So with that, may God bless you, and I hope all of you are doing well. I don't think there's any major notes for Lay Angels parishioners, except school will be starting soon, next week, next Thursday, so look forward to seeing all the kids then, and yeah, I think that's about it for now, but God bless you all, and know of my prayers for you, and please continue to pray for me. God bless.